Oh, hello. Don't worry, I wasn't for real dead, I was only comic book dead, which means I can come back to life at any time, for any reason. Today's reason is for a very special episode of Fandom Workshop. But first, like 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes. Hello, fandom friends, and welcome to the Fandom Workshop Halloween Special! Or if you're not watching this in October, welcome to the Fandom Workshop Costume Theme Party Special! That's right, even if it is in October, you should still throw a costume party. Your friends will love it and think you're cool. I'm your host, Evan Atwood, here to bring you a gallery of wonderful fandom tips and tricks for your Halloween time or costume theme party event. I might also pay you a compliment here or there. Say, is that a new shirt, blouse, or tunic you're wearing? It looks lovely. You're welcome. But enough about you. Let's focus on me, showing you some spectacular costume and decoration ideas that are sure to make any party an absolute scream. But in a good way.
The ring, it chose you. Use its power to defend our universe. Become one of us. Become a Green Lantern.
I'm going to show you how to make your very own Green Lantern ring from DC Comics' Green Lantern. Now, the build for this ring is going to be comprised of 2 main parts, the band itself and then the lantern logo. Everything is going to be made out of this EVA craft foam, which can be found at any normal hardware store, usually for under $1. If you're making a Green Lantern ring, you'll also want to make sure it's green. Now, to start off, I always like to have a pre-cut band. This is going to be the same width of the lantern logo as well as the ring itself. Now, I go ahead and use my fingernail here just to mark off where it's starting to feel tight but still comfortable, and then cut that. Once you have the band ready, you want to apply just a very, very thin strip of hot glue right to one edge. Press that to the other side, and just hold it flush until it's dry. Now, once that's dry, you're going to have your band all ready, so you'll want to start making the lantern logo. To do that, you cut out just a little square here, and to cut out the hole in the middle, you just want to use either a hole punch or you can also use a straw. Just apply pressure right in the center and rotate that until the center comes out. That'll take a little while, but you should be able to do it pretty cleanly to where you get a nice logo like that. Cutting out the edges here, I just use a pair of normal household scissors. That'll give you everything you need there for the lantern logo. Apply some hot glue to the back of that, and then what you're going to want to do is apply that right over the seam. And that extra hot glue is going to give you a little bit extra durability. Once you're done, you have your very own Green Lantern ring. Halloween is a time for bats, spiders, and ghosts. But this is Fandom Workshop, and I'm your host, Evan Atwood, so we'll be decorating with Batman, Spider-Man, and Pac-Man ghosts. Construction paper decorations aren't just for preschool anymore. I'm bringing them back with colored construction paper. Now, to start your own decorations, you're going to want to make templates. I like to use cardstock from old envelope mailers or cut-up cereal boxes. Or, if you want to create a more 8-bit video game character design, you can use grid paper, and that'll give you a nice blocky feel. Once you have your templates, all you need to do is trace them out directly on your construction paper, take a pair of scissors, and then cut them out. Now you're going to want to take your time and make sure you're getting all of your lines exactly how you want them. And then once you're done cutting that out, you'll have a piece that's ready for some fantastic tape loopies. That's a thing. Now, all you need to do is put them on the back and they're ready to go up on the wall. So let's go take a look at what that's going to look like. Now, as you can see, we've transformed this otherwise boring white wall into something fandomly fantastic. But I know what you're thinking. Sure, spiders and bats are spooky enough in their own right, but there's nothing inherently Halloweenish about Pac-Man himself. Don't worry. I made him a tiny little witch hat. For Halloween or any other costume event like a sport game or bank robbery, you want to make sure you have the appropriate makeup. Not because you don't look pretty, you already look pretty enough. But you want to still make sure you have the right makeup. So joining us today is Jo Marie, fantastic makeup designer. Jo Marie, thank you for joining us.
You're welcome.
Now tell us a little bit about what got you into makeup design.
Well, let's see, it probably just started with a love of art. I started taking art classes when I was about 12 or 13 years old and loved it. Started face painting a few years ago and loved it even more. It's amazing, and it just kind of took off from there.
That's great. Now you do a lot of work with illusion makeup. And what are your sort of favorite projects that you work on?
So yeah, I love anything illusion. I love anything scary and illusion, monsters, zombies, anything, anything where I can distort a human face into looking a little less human, misplacing eyes, mouths, noses, things like that. I love it.
Oh, and we love that too. Now, what are we going to do today?
Today, Evan, we are going to turn you into a human comic book character.
Oh, because it is my lifelong dream! Thank you so much. All right, so we're going to get into that right now. Dive in, put some paint on my face. We did it! My dream finally realized! I'm a comic book character. Jo, how did you magic this all over my face?
All right, let's see. Well, we started with just covering your whole face and a little bit of your neck with a light base. And then we took a tool that's actually used for putting polka dots on nails, fingernails, and we did the dots, covered your face and your neck. Then we added in some shadows with black, gave you a killer jawline, a little bit of a chin, an Adam's apple, put on some spectacular eyebrows, and other than that, there is one thing that I left out that might be the most important piece.
What could possibly be missing from this comic book look? Ow. Gosh, I sure do love The Sims. I mean, I know I'm supposed to be doing this episode, but I just can't stop thinking about it. Hold on, not there yet. Why, I wonder if there's some way, okay, give me like 2 seconds. Why, I wonder if there's some way I could make a costume out of that. Okay, yeah, no. Oh, why, thank you, Fandom Counter. The iconic Sims Plumb Bob. Why, with this alone, I could turn anything I'm currently wearing into a Sims costume. Now to start this costume build, you're going to need a template. I was actually fortunate enough to find one directly from the Sims 3 website. We'll go ahead and throw that right up on our Facebook page for you. Now, I did scale it up a little bit to get the right size that I was looking for, but each one of these templates is going to be half of your plumb bob. Go ahead and trace those out on your cardstock like I did here, making sure to get all of the center lines as well, because these are going to be all of your fold lines. Now, once you have everything traced out, go ahead and do it again. As I said, this is just going to be 1/2, so you want to make sure that you're making 2 of each one of these steps. Once you have both of those, you go ahead and cut them out. Now, the next step here is one of the most important. To get these nice crisp lines, you're going to want to score all of your folds. Now, to do that, I like to use an X-Acto knife or a craft knife. Now, make sure to be very, very careful as these are very, very sharp. Now, you're going to want to go ahead and very, very carefully just drag the knife right along those fold lines, very carefully. You don't want to go all the way through the cardboard. You just want to go nice and slow, just on a couple of these here, like that. And once you do that, that's going to be what allows you to get those nice, crisp, clean fold lines. You do that all the way around, including the glue tabs here, and then start bending them. Now, the trick here is you want to make sure that you're getting everything bent directly on the fold line, and you're going to kind of fold each one of them so they're nice and flexible. Once you have everything ready here, and you see it's all nice and loose, you can start gluing. So you glue right along the tab lines. I like to start with the center one here, press that in, and then you can follow up with these tabs here, and then press that right on top of that big center hexagon base. So you're going to go ahead and do that twice, so you'll have each half. Now, to attach it to the headband, I went ahead and started by creating a little hole in the base of each one of the plumb bob halves, and then on the base half, I cut a tiny hole right here that allowed me to feed through this wire. Now, the wire I'm using is actually a galvanized steel wire. I found it at a hardware store. It's nice and flexible, and it's really good for craft work. So what I did was I ran the line through here, and it just rests right up at the top of the plumb bob. And then I made sure to leave plenty of extra length that I was going to wrap around the headband. Now, to get that around the headband, I went ahead and actually drilled a small hole directly through the center of the headband. Now, once I had that hole, I ran the line through and started wrapping it. Now, I kept wrapping it with the needle nose pliers, and after every couple wraps, I went ahead and clamped it down until it got nice and snug right around the headband and didn't start to wobble off. So after that, I clipped off the end, and with that, I had all of the structural work done. Now, to finish off the plumb bob itself, you're going to want to make sure it's green. Now, there's a couple ways you can do that. You can start by using green cardstock, or if you're lucky enough to find some amazing kryptonite-looking sandpaper, like I found here at a craft store, you can go ahead and use kind of an embellished paper like this, something nice and glossy. Or, since you're working with paper, the options are almost endless. You can use markers to color it, either green, amber, or red, like different colors of the Sims plumb bobs. You can paint directly on it. Now, if you're using paints, since this is kind of a lighter weight cardstock, you want to make sure that you go in layers so that it doesn't get too wet and kind of collapse in on itself. But otherwise, you've got a bunch of options. Once you have it finished off, you will have your very own finished Sims plumb bob. Now, one of the cool things about this is when you wear it to a party, you can flirby mai, zibby bow, diggly die, ze flurfif mavif, derbish zao, zerbi d, flurbish now. So you've made your Green Lantern ring, But you want to take it one step further. You'd like to make one of those groovy Green Lantern eye masks. Now don't worry, I'm here to help. They're actually called domino masks, and they originate from the traditional domino costume, which is part of the Venetian Carnival. They've since transcended Carnival and become a signature, staple trademark look of a host of other characters, including Harley Quinn, Robin, or the Lone Ranger. The list goes on. Now, let's take a look at what we're going to need. So to start off, you'll want to make a pattern. To make a pattern, you're going to need to know the measurements from the bridge of your nose to the inside of your eye, the width of your eye, and then from the outside edge of your eye to where you want the mask to end. Go ahead and draw out the design you like for your mask, making sure to leave plenty of room for the eye hole. After you've got that cut out, you can trace that directly onto your EVA craft foam with a pencil. I like to use a pencil because it works on both light and dark colors of EVA foam. After that, take a pair of scissors, carefully cut out your mask, and then you're ready to heat shape. Now, when you're heat shaping, you can use either a heat gun, which will allow for pinpoint accuracy, or you can use a household oven. The trick to a household oven, though, is you want to be very, very careful to use it on its lowest setting and check it every few seconds to make sure that the foam doesn't actually melt. All you want to do is make sure to heat it up to where it becomes pliable, and then you can start to shape it. Now, when you're shaping it, you can do that directly onto a mannequin or onto your own face as long as it's not too hot to touch. Go ahead and while it's pliable, press firmly on the inside of the bridge of the nose and then to the rest of your face. This will allow it to conform nicely, and just wait until it's cool. Once it's cooled, you'll see that it'll keep its shape nicely and be ready for our final step. Now you've already made an amazing mask, but there's a few ways you can finish it off. You can add additional pieces like I've done here with this Kyle Rayner Green Lantern mask, or you can paint it using the same dimensional fabric paint that we used on our Green Lantern rings earlier, like I did here on this Red Robin mask. You can also add straps. Now, if you're punching holes to tie them off, you want to make sure to reinforce those holes so that the cord doesn't actually rip through the foam itself. I like to do that by taking a thin layer of hot glue here so the cord has something to grab onto. Now, for the straps themselves, I like to use this elastic bracelet cord. You can find it at just about any craft store. It's stretchy so you can get the mask on and off really easily, but it's clear so it won't interfere with the rest of your costume. After that, all you need to do is apply mask to face, and you are ready to go out and party, or go out and fight crime, or I guess go out and make crime. Wait, don't make crime. That's bad. No, I'm agreeing with you, but your theory on quantum number acceleration is... Oh, hi. You're back. I wasn't just talking to this dead animal head. That's something only a crazy person would do. A madman. A madman spending countless nights in his laboratory, experimenting with lightning and chemicals, pushing the very boundaries of scientific discovery! But I'm not going to bore you with all that nonsense and things that aren't happening that I'm not doing. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe to us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Drop us a line at fandomworkshop@gmail.com. Let us know what you're a fan of. We love to hear from you. But in the meantime, scare you for stopping by. I know, it sounded better in my head too, Ghost Boar.